In the heart of the Limousin, just 30 miles from Limoges, is a tiny hamlet with new proprietors, myself Ted and my wife Lisa. The village of Montmagny originally covered 250 acres, with the Chateau being the heart of the hamlet. It had its glory days in the 18th century with its coaching house and relais de poste. But in 2020 we purchased Montmagny for €180,000. It had been abandoned for many years and left to deteriorate and crumble. Living in a tent, no electricity or water, we aim to breathe new life into Montmagny, reviving its history to make our future.
We looked at 46 properties and we'd kind of given up hope to finding the right one, and we sat in the car and we looked up at that tower, didn't we?
Oh, that was it.
And it was a revelation, and that moment of dread where you think, this is the one, but this is going to be a lot of work.
Yeah. So with 700 years of history to uncover, from a crumbling building to a thriving business.
We're officially open.
We are not the owners of this property, we're the guardians of this property. You know, this property is 600 plus years old. It's our time to look after it.
So this week we've had a volunteer, Charlene, back, and she's been working in the garden, and I thought it'd be a really good chance to give you a bit of a recap on what this place was like before we show you the work that she's been doing this week on the garden. It's been absolutely brilliant because me and Ted don't have time to really do these things and keep the maintenance of the immediate garden area done. But let's just remember us what it was like when we first came here and came through those gates and couldn't see any of the land that we had.
When we first arrived at the chateau, it was very tired looking. The land was so overgrown that some of the buildings we couldn't even access. The 8 acres of parkland was filled with brambles and bracken, over 4 feet high in some areas. And as much as we were told that we had a lake and a woodland, it would be a very long time before we would be able to see it, let alone get anywhere near it. So we had to decide what to tackle first. Now, we've always said with this property that it kind of tells us what it wants us to do. I know that may sound silly, but it does, and it did. Ted tripped over a big root and decided that he'd try and get it out. Whilst dragging out that root, he uncovered the ancient French drainage system. To us, a lovely patio. It took us 2 days on our hands and knees, scraping up the moss and dirt to uncover the beautiful stonework. However, uncovering it is one thing. It then gave us a load more work because it meant that it had to be mortared.
It was amazing. This was so overgrown, and it was only that Ted tripped over a big root and suddenly found the stone pathway. And then as we literally uncovered more and more, it goes literally, it's the whole of the patio, goes all the way down the garden, all the way round the whole of the property. So every building has it all the way round.
As we see, there's a strange being in a blue helmet. Oh, it's Lisa. I didn't realise. I thought it was Bob's younger sister. But she's gone mad with this lime mooring.
I'm like a pig in shit. Ted's mixing for me, he does me mixing.
3 and 1, 3 sand, 1 lime mortar. This is very important to keep the mix the same because of the colour. It's a traditional product, it's a live product, it's a product that they use to allow the stone to breathe.
It's actually an old French drainage system, so the rain comes off of the guttering at the top, down into the valley and continues over and down into the lake. It's a brilliant find, it's absolutely beautiful, and when it's finished it will be absolutely gorgeous. The only problem is we keep finding more and more of it, so the job's kind of never ending.
The next job to tackle was the piggeries and stables, because this was an area we couldn't actually access at the moment, so we wanted to clear the courtyard to be able to see what we could actually use this building for. To be able to actually see inside these buildings was fantastic. It was so big, so much usable space. And little did we know at this stage that this was going to become our second location for the tent and eventually our permanent home. So with another building uncovered, it was time to look at other areas we had yet to see.
I calculate, and I may be wrong, but I think we're looking at probably about 2 acres that we've never seen, which is down by the lake area, because we can get down almost to the lake, but all over that area we've never seen.
So it was time to bring in the big guns in the way of our local farmer Damien, who lives just a kilometre down the road and has the most perfect machinery for this job.
Our local farmer, Damien's, come to knock all this back so we can flatten the land and then seed it. Hopefully within a couple of years we should have something resembling a meadow rather than a disaster area.
So with the parkland cleared, ploughed and seeded, it was time for us to have a little explore.
You want to go for a walk? Yeah. It's great to see all the grass growing up now, and hopefully it will embed before
Well, it's
the frost gets in, isn't it?
It's germinated, it'll be enough.
There's always been a slight mystery to these 2 little buildings on the edge of the lake. We've never really been able to get close enough to be able to find out or look inside and see what they actually were. We always just called them the 2 follies.
They've actually cut cut for the lintel, cut for the doorway. So it shows that one, there's skill there, and two, that there's money there. These are pre-revolution, all these are pre-revolution, so they're pre-1789. We say they're lookout posts, they may be lookout posts. It just seems so strange that they wouldn't be higher than this if they were sort of lookout posts, because you can't really see anything over the land there. You know, I've got this little theory that when people used to come to the Coaching Inn and they'd arrive mid-afternoon, they're going to stay or they're going to have dinner or whatever, they saunter down here in the afternoon with an aperitif, and this is where the dodgy dealings happened.
So 3 years on, we have since found out that these two follies were actually existing towers, and they were lookout towers. Originally, Montmagny had 4 towers. 3 of them were demolished in the 1600s by Cardinal Richelieu. Jean-Pierre, our ex-mayor, remembers as a child about 70 years ago playing on them as ruins, and they've obviously been stabilised by a builder since and made into the follies. So with the major part of the land sorted, it was time for us to do some finishing touches before we could open to the public. The next job was to clean up the monument, which is in the centre of the garden area. Now this monument is centuries years old and would have been the only source of water for the people who worked here and lived here, and is fed by the well. So with a quick jet wash, new plants, it was all beginning to look beautiful. However, there was still a lot of jobs on the list to complete before opening day. So first job of the day, move the wood into the barn so me and Sam can get on with the weeding.
To lose my mind, get to lose my mind, get to lose my mind, get to lose my mind.
A special thank you to our friends Sam and Tony who came to help us for the day. You might actually recognise this lovely lady from our move to France, not quite a chateau. So with the immediate land now all sorted, we were ready to reopen to the public. In 18 months, going from a derelict, crumbling building to now a thriving business.
This is lovely to see, but it almost doesn't feel like my home anymore because there's all these people wandering about and I keep going into my places and there's people that I don't know. So it's, yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge.
You do look a bit like over 30s reps or something, don't we?
Hi, welcome to 1830, Club 1830.
Especially doing the tours, yeah. Successful first event at Chateau de Montmagny.
Yeah. Brilliant. I think we should go and light the barbie.
I think we should.
Because I think that's...
I think we deserve to sit down now and have a bit of a drink.
I think I might have a little, aperitif.
You might have a glass.
Glass of something.
However, there was still a lot more to go. We had a very special event coming up on the horizon. So for this next project, we needed our good friend Charlene. The wedding of the year was coming up. And now that we could actually access the woodland, we thought it would make the perfect area for the ceremony. But it needed a lot of work.
Oh no. Okay, we've got the trailer stuck. When you get chance, could you bring the tractor over? Because we was trying to be good and not disturb you and move all the trailer and just move it by hand. We've got it stuck in the bog bit.
Down now.
Thank you, baby.
So with the ceremony area prepped and ready, just a few more finishing touches needed, it was time to concentrate on how he was going to feed these guests. And Ted was tasked with building a summer kitchen in 4 weeks.
So we have a little digger that's arrived that we're hoping is going to help us.
You're not saying that's tasking?
I am.
Got a little digger. He was out there a little digging and there he is. Look.
Ted's getting the tractor sorted, but we have a special guest this week. Carsten!
All the way from Denmark.
All the way from Denmark.
Yeah,
Say hello.
don't know why, but I'm here.
So Carsten arrived yesterday, had to fly from Denmark to Stansted and then Stansted to here. Long journey. Did you have a good night's sleep?
Perfect.
Are you glad to be here?
I love it.
So with the introductions over, it was time to crack on. In just 4 weeks, we had to have a kitchen area, eating area for 100 guests. So with the area cleared and prepped, it was time to start building.
Are we all right?
Yep.
You want to put that up? Well, we know we're on the laser. All right. Should put it on top, just so we can put it down. So we should have 35 metres. We need 16 metres to go across the top, but we also need about 16 metres to go across the bottom.
Parade is down below. He can see his pop just fine from here. You better keep him on the low. Keep an eye on Bobby for me. Don't let him go.
We have a roof on the building, which is nice. Look at that. Thank you very much, Mr. Harris.
More than welcome.
I owe you a large pint of ale.
So with 4 days to go, they finished the project. Under 4 weeks, we went from this to this, a fully fitted kitchen and bar.
That's 1664 going, Becky.
Oh.
I wonder what you were
That's
doing
very
in the
kind.
fridge.
I'll have one in the till.
You'll have one in the till.
I'll have one in the till.
Have one
Yeah.
yourself.
As a dear old fella I used to know once said, do you want a drink, Vic? No, just give me the cash. Cheers.
Cheers! Yay!
Christening the bar.
We got a bar.
Bar. Cheers. And you're all bars. Yes.
So with the land all cleared, the garden area sorted, there was just one last thing to do, and that was dress the wedding area. It was time for a celebration.
Right, let's go and see who's turned up.
Did you ever think this day would come?
Mesdames, Messieurs, j'ai l'honneur de vous présenter Monsieur et Madame Harry Edward Crombie-Rogers. It is my honour to present to you, to be the first to introduce you to Mr. and Mrs. Harry Edward Crombie-Rogers.
Can we kiss now?
You look unbelievable. So do you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
It's been so good to look back on the time spent on the land. I can't believe the transformation from what it was before to what it is now. And how fabulous was it that we could have a wedding at our own chateau in our own grounds with all of our friends and family. So check out the next vlog when you'll be seeing exactly what Charlene's been up to make it look even better, if that's possible, which it is. So right now we'd like to take the opportunity to say a huge thank you to all of you that have taken part in the Buy Me a Toll campaign. In the last few weeks, these are the people who have made a special donation. Thank you so much.
Julie W.
Gillian Wheeler,
Sherry Sharp.
Lucy Diamond,
Julie Wood.
Julie Fletcher,
Marianne North.
Michelle,
Shah in Texas.
Richard Underwood,
Teresa.
Andy Boyled,
Kath Etchell.
Verandy,
Kitty Hawk.
Wendy and Steve Hill,
Gunnar.
Claire Joviet,
Carsten Fulsang Nielsen.
Heart Doe,
Sue and Paul Faraday.
Ian Maynard,
Judy Berry Hussey.
Reverend Jodie Cross,
Anne Earp.
Charlie Barker,
Susan Johnson.
Michelle,
Stacia Martin.
Julie Wood,
Elizabeth Wassell.
and I just did one wrong then. It's Irene Maynard, Silly Lisa. And a huge thank you to all of our patrons. But we've got wonderful new patrons this month, and they start with
Stephanie Ayala.
Ina Boss,
Donna Blake.
Noreen Kelly,
Linda Melancon.
Renee Neiman,
Annette Sharrock.
Debbie Flanagan,
Pamela Lavoy.
Linda Meserole,
Kathleen Quinlan.
Jazzy Jane,
Donna Jones.
Thank you all so much, and thank you to all of our patrons, their existing ones and new ones. We love you all.